Alright, what is going on, guys? I am TJ, bringing you a brand new video on my channel, and as most of you know, today is the trade deadline in the NFL. The trade deadline, the exact time that it ends is 4 p.m. Eastern, which for me is 3 p.m. Central. At the time I'm recording this, it's about 2 o'clock, so we've got about another hour until free agency ends, but I feel pretty safe that no more major or big moves are going to happen, and I'm probably going to jinx myself and have to make another video about it, but we're just going to record off of the moves that have already been made and just see how this whole thing goes. So 2 big trades have already gone down in free agency, both involving wide receivers, and one of the trades was kind of unexpected, at least for me. I hadn't been hearing his name a lot in free agency rumor and talks, but the other one was pretty expected. It was kind of known that he was going to get traded. So the first trade we're going to talk about was Demaryius Thomas to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are giving up a 4th round pick, and I also believe that they are swapping 7ths with the Broncos. To me, this is just a Will Fuller replacement, and it's going to be more ammo for Deshaun Watson, because really the only weapons that he has on that offense right now to throw to. Braxton Miller got cut, and he wasn't really that much of, a threat or anything like that. Kiki QT, or QT, I think it's QT, Kiki QT, sorry about that. He's been pretty good out of Texas Tech. I really liked him as, a middle to late round receiver, and I thought that he was going to be a steal in the draft. And I think he came out and caught like the second most passes or the first most passes in an NFL debut or something like that. He went off. DeAndre Hopkins, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's got ammo right there. And CJ Fedorowicz retired, so the tight end position is kind of shaky. That might be something that they try to clear up, in the next couple of drafts, but I think their focus should be offensive line. But with Will Fuller tearing his ACL, there goes their deep threat wide receiver. Demaryius Thomas isn't necessarily a deep threat wide receiver, but he's a guy that'll be able to come in, add some more levels to that offense. He's a guy that can block. He's a guy, he's like a go up and get it type of wide receiver. He's about 6'3", 220 pounds, probably more. I'm just, off the top of my head, I know he's about 6'3", and 220 is just, a good guess, but he's a wide receiver that's going to help Deshaun Watson out a lot. He's a guy that's been proven throughout his entire career. He's kind of fallen off as of lately, but the Broncos quarterbacks haven't really been the best in the league, and they've kind of, not been able to throw the ball very well. Paxton Lynch, Trevor Siemian, Brock Osweiler, and now Case Keenum. Case Keenum they thought was going to be, the resurrection of Vikings Case Keenum or something like that, but they just took a chance on him, but he hasn't really worked out that well, and Demaryius Thomas is getting up there in years. I feel like they want to keep Emmanuel Sanders because he's been actually having a really good year, but they probably want to get guys like Courtland Sutton and Deshaun Hamilton more looks. Courtland Sutton, to me, was one of the best wide receivers in this last draft, and he slid to like the 2nd or 3rd round, I think is what they drafted him in. I know it was the 2nd or 3rd round, but that was an absolute steal in my opinion, because he's Demaryius Thomas 2.0, but I feel like he's got more go up and get it ability. He's just more athletic and just got a bigger frame than Demaryius Thomas did. And Deshaun Hamilton was a really good late round guy out of Penn State that I really liked. This wide receiver class, I'm telling you, the Cowboys, talking about the Amari Cooper trade from last video, the Cowboys should have went out and got a wide receiver. I mean, they did. They got Michael Gallup, but this year and last year, the wide receiver classes have been absolutely stacked, so that's all about that. But today we're talking about the Demaryius Thomas and the other trade that we're going to be talking about, which we are going to jump into right now. Alright, now the second trade we're going to be talking about today is a trade that I don't think a lot of people saw coming. Maybe some people who are like high up in the NFL or insiders or people on Twitter that have links and stuff like that, but I follow a lot of those people, and this wasn't a name that was very talked about in their conversations and stuff like that, and it just wasn't a popular name among the free agency targets at the deadline, at least, and that is Golden Tate. The Lions have traded him to the Eagles for a 3rd round pick in this year's draft. To me, I think the Lions win this trade. They get a 3rd round pick, which is good value now. There's a lot of, Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt came from the 3rd round. There's a lot of people, I mean, not that they need a running back or anything like that, but it's been proven over time that the 3rd round is, a very valuable pick in the draft, and you can get a lot of value out of that round. And it's not just, if they were trading for a 6th round pick, which I don't think you get a lot of value, or like a 5th or a 7th or anything like that, then that'd be a different story. But a 3rd round pick is a lot of value, and I feel like that might be a little high for Golden Tate's asking price considering his age and stuff like that, but the Eagles were more than willing to give it up. I'm not sure if they had more than 1 3rd round pick or something like that, but I didn't do a ton of research before I went into this video. I kind of just looked at the trades and stuff like that. So to me, I think the Lions win this trade. Like I just said, they get a 3rd round pick and Kenny Golladay, who I think is one of the more promising up and coming receivers in the NFL. I felt like Golden Tate was taking targets away from from him because Golden Tate was playing the outside and they were sticking Kenny in the slot, which I didn't think was a very, a productive position for him. I felt like he's better as an outside wide receiver. The dude's about 6'2", 220 pounds almost. So I'd stick him on the outside. He's a guy that's really, really good. Marvin Jones had a breakout year last year. If you watch my video, you know that I did like some sleeper players, like I talked about sleeper players. And instead of Keenan Allen, I almost did Marvin Jones because he had some really, really good numbers last year, and he was on my fantasy team. He kind of carried me. Him and Alvin Kamara kind of carried me to a championship, but we're not talking about fantasy football. Marvin Jones has, proven himself as a good wide receiver in Detroit, and Golden Tate has been good too, but that's mainly because they throw the ball around a lot. And I felt it was necessary for them to move on if they wanted to get Kenny involved, because I felt like it would be halting his progression and his development if they would have kept Golden Tate in there and had him play all these downs and all these snaps, because that's taking it away from Kenny if they run. Because Patricia doesn't necessarily spread the field out like a guy like Andy Reid does, and he doesn't run single backs a lot, or he does run some single back, but it's more like, too tight single back where they've only got 2 wide receivers and stuff like that. So it's more of a pro style offense, not more of a spread, which is what, Matthew Stafford's used to. They still have Jim Bob Cooter, who's their offensive coordinator, greatest name in all of history ever. It's the dude's real name is Jim Bob Cooter, like it's crazy. And he has been more of like a transformation, like, try and balance the run with the pass. Kerryon Johnson has proven that he's a very good running back, so they're leaning more towards formations that take 3 wide receivers and 4 wide receivers out of the picture, and it's more to 2 and a fullback and a tight end, or 2 tight ends, and stuff like that. Just more pro run oriented type of offense. And if Golden Tate and Marvin Jones are out there, then that's taking away Kenny Galladay's opportunity. So I feel like getting rid of Golden Tate is a golden opportunity for Kenny Galladay to take over. Getting Kenny Galladay out there for the Detroit Lions offense is going to be a crucial thing. Getting him looks, getting him snaps, getting him targets, throwing him the ball a lot, making him the number 1 or 2 wide receiver option. I feel like Marvin Jones is going to be the number 1 as of, the trade, but I feel like Kenny Galladay can be a number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. I feel like he has that potential, and I feel like his development and getting Golden Tate out of the system, off the team, not to saying he's like a bad teammate or something, because he's been a really good, teammate in Detroit, but, he's kind of hindering Kenny Galladay and how much he develops and stuff like that. So I feel like opening up that spot and putting Galladay in there is going to be a very, very crucial thing for that Detroit offense. And some other free agency things we can talk about are people that we think are going to get traded, or people that's names are still out there in the trade market. Clinton-Dix has been a very prevalent name in that category. He's a safety from the Green Bay Packers. The Chiefs need safety help. The Seahawks need safety help with Earl Thomas going out with a broken leg. There's a lot of teams out there that can use some back end help. I feel like the Chargers maybe could, because I don't know how strongly they feel about Jalil Adai or whoever their strong safety. I can't remember who their other strong safety is, or who their other safeties are, just off the top of my head. I can't. So that'd be some good back end help for them. Also considering that Jason Verrett is out and Casey Hayward, I think, is playing injured a little bit, so that could help the back end of their defense. Another name that's been going around is Bradley Roby. He's a nickel corner, plays for the Broncos. I don't feel like any teams should be going out and trading a lot for him, mainly because I feel like all he can play is nickel corner. He's not very good on the outside. At Ohio State, he really was, but then he got to the NFL, and his size and speed combo really kind of transitioned him into a slot corner position. And he's been pretty good there. He's not been, an elite level or a high level corner or anything like that, but he's been very serviceable for that Broncos team. Janoris Jenkins is also a name from the New York Giants, who have been a very, very active team as of late. He's a name that's been out there in the free agency market. The Chiefs have been pursuing him, and literally, I think my phone goes off as in the middle of recording this. Yeah, so my phone just went off, and Ty Montgomery just got traded to the Ravens. Apparently, they needed some running back help, even though Alex Collins has been a really good running back. Apparently, they needed a more receiving threat type of running back in that offense, and I guess they went out and got him. So there's another name we can cross off the list, I guess. Alright, that is going to do it for me, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video, and let me know down in the comment section below what you think about these trades and any other trades that go on in free agency. If by the time I upload this video, other people get traded, let me know what you think about those trades in the comment section down below. I really like having conversations with you guys. It stopped as of late, but I'd really like it to pick back up, if you guys really have any interesting opinions or comments to make on my, on my videos and stuff like that. So other than that, that's going to be it for me, guys. I am TJ, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.